Yep. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, my microphone's not set.
Welcome to the Life Short, Live Free podcast, episode 48. It's not a bad winter day out. A little chilly in the studio, but not horrible. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Sun's shining.
Yeah, this is, before I forget, I'm going to dive right into our sponsors, and then we'll go back to how you guys are. This, of course, is sponsored by Ballistic Imagery. Check them out at ballisticimagery.com. Owned by that guy right over there, as well as on social media, of course, Facebook and Instagram. He has a coupon code on his coupon's a funny word. Coupon code on his website for what is it? 10% off all prints and canvases of badass pictures on there. What's that coupon code there?
That
Boss?
code is LSLF 2021. I've updated it for you folks.
Gets you 10% off anything on the website, and also if you're looking for custom videography and photography needs, give him a shout. We're also sponsored by Shyworks, Iowa's certified and customer preferred Cerakote applicator. Give us a shout, shyworks.com, as well as on social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're kind of expanding our social medias. We'll be on several more here. If Parler ever frickin' comes back, I was really digging that one.
I think it will.
I was going to talk to you about this before. I thought maybe we should throw up a picture here or something. I wanted to bring down that print Jimmy had. That was supposed to be here by now, and I was going to... Yeah, the 30-inch dick butt. God damn it.
That's pretty awesome.
I was going to say, since Shyworks and Ballistic Imagery are in cahoots together, so we can throw up a picture here for you guys of prints that we can get you. If you get your gun Cerakoted at Shyworks, we can cut you a deal on a pretty sweet print of your firearm. So we're gonna have to. I'll get you a picture or something, Johnson, that you can throw up here. Insert picture here and check it out.
Insert photo here
For you guys listening.
That
just imagine something cool.
A picture of a really cool pistol with dick butts on it.
Yeah, and if you are just listening, of course, you can always watch the video on YouTube, as well as what other
Full 30, Gunstreamer, and Rumble.
Oh, you did start uploading a Rumble. Huh? Good.
Yeah, I'm slowly working on it. I've got a few episodes up there. I'm just trying to go through our YouTube library right now and just kind of replicating the order of uploads, so they're still kind of in chronological order.
Sure.
So I'm working on uploading there. So we just kind of started that, and I'm a little behind on Full 30 right now too. But
yeah, it's a good thing you're not doing it on my internet, because it would literally take you. I bet you it would take you 3 months to upload everything. Yeah. On my internet, probably. So
that's one of those things that you've said you were going to do for almost a year now.
Yep.
Yep. It's on my list. It's on my list.
I remember the days when he was insisting that he was going to fix his truck too.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
When was I ever going to fix my truck? What was I going to do to it?
You were going to put new box sides on it and rockers and shit.
Yeah,
you were like, it's still a good truck.
Cab corners.
I mean, it was a decent truck at that point.
Hey, it's still...
Well, then I put a new transmission in it.
Then exhausts and running boards started falling off.
I was actually... The running boards... There was the left one, or the right one. That one was pretty iffy for a long time, and it fell off one time. Actually, Toad was getting out of the truck, and he stepped on it and down to the ground, and the backside did. So I just ratchet strapped it up there. And I told people not to step on it. And then I was headed up to firefighter training up in Marcus. And I made it like a mile outside of town. The ratchet strap broke, and it was just all the way in. I was just like, F it. I just drove all the way in there with dragging a running board. Yeah, it was super classy. That's how.
Have you ever taken the exhaust out from under that thing yet, or it's just dangling there?
No.
Okay.
It's just the exhaust tips. Or they don't do much. It's just for looks now. Me and Johnson, you're not hungover today like you were last time, are you?
No, I felt pretty shitty when I first woke up this morning. I hardly ever get like a hangover with a headache, but this morning I woke up and I thought my brain was trying to split itself in two.
Yeah, me and Johnson were out at the Johnson Ranch. I think he must have had a little bit too much fun. I felt pretty good when I woke up. I can't complain.
Yeah, I took a couple of Advil and had about an hour nap, and I was pretty well good to go.
Box, how was your weekend?
I didn't really do much.
What'd you do?
Let's see. Not much.
Oh, that makes for just totally thrilling podcast.
Right?
It really does.
I honestly don't remember.
well,
I sat on my computer, I think, and did some work, but yeah, that's my job on the weekends isn't real thrilling.
Yeah.
I
I actually did a lot of sitting on the computer over the weekend as well.
Speaking of thrilling, let's do something else thrilling, and people can listen to us while we taste things. How's that sound?
What a segue.
All right.
Whiskey of the week. Oh,
Well.
wow. You up.
Weak. that word was weak. Sorry.
What did you do?
I don't know. I must have
Turned your phone off?
I think I turned it, and
Oh.
yeah, never mind. So yeah, what do we got today? Actually, the girlfriend bought me this for Christmas, so it's called The Real Stuff. Why don't you tell us about it, Box? You got it over there.
This is a spirit distilled from grain and cane.
Grain
Finished
and cane.
in charred oak barrels. It is 82 proof, and it is distilled in the great state of Iowa, just like our last whiskey. You guys think this is going to be a contender?
I don't know. We've had a lot of Iowa whiskeys lately. That not lately, but I guess Slipknot number 9. Is Pendleton? No, Cedar Ridge.
Cedar
is.
Ridge is.
There's another one in a Pendleton bottle. That's Templeton. That's the one.
Templeton
Yeah.
Rye.
Templeton
yeah.
Rye. That's a
Not
that
for
is
me.
an Iowa.
I thought
one
we had
as well.
another. What was the
I
other
think
one
we
that
got-
was? Oh, the Cedar Ridge was from the same place as the Slipknot number 9, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, same
Correctamundo.
We've been having a lot of these style bottles lately. Old
It
school.
feels so nice having that little.
Just a little finger hook. And
Yeah. Oh man. Fuck you guys.
Just
I'm
wanna
drinking
keep
out of the
You-
bottle.
Box likes the finger. So this is what was it? 43? Was this the one that's like 43%?
It's 82 proof.
82 proof.
41.
What do you guys think of the nose?
really soft. It's like it's not a violent burn. You know, you don't get a whole.
Smells like whiskey.
It does.
It doesn't curl your nose hairs up. You know,
It's got a. There's a funk. I can't put my finger
A
on
funk? That doesn't really.
No,
that doesn't
not-
bode well for the
Smells like ball sweat.
it. No, there's like a.
Famunda cheese.
There's a after smell almost, like, you know, when you get an aftertaste, like when you're smelling it, there's something at the end that I just get. But it's
I think I can smell like the sugar. Like there's definitely a sweetness to the.
well, I guess we can stop fucking
What the
talking
fuck are we doing trying to be like
Why are we-
official about this?
Why am I sitting here huffing this? Drink this shit.
Does it get you drunk? Yes. Well,
It'll get you drunk.
It'll get you drunk. 5 out of 5 stars.
Mm.
Ooh,
it's smooth.
it's sweet,
It is sweet.
A little bit
but not
sweet.
like the flavored sugary, like the peach. You know how that's almost like give you a gut rot.
Mhm.
Sweet. This is not. This is.
It's there's something that I don't love about the aftertaste. I mean, it's got good flavor. Like it starts really nice. I dig the start of it, and then when it's coming out or what at the end of it, it's not quite.
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know whiskey terminology.
The finish.
The finish. It's got a weird finish. It's good. I'm not complaining.
I think it has a sweet finish. Like I think the sweetness comes out kind of more in the aftertaste.
Yeah.
I think you get like the kind of traditional whiskey flavor, you know, initially, and then it kind of gets sweeter in the aftertaste.
Do you ever wonder, like, if taste is completely, like, if something I taste tastes completely 100% different to you? Like, there's no way to tell that, but I always thought that's kind of interesting. Or like,
this shit must be strong. He's already fucking hooped. Listen
Or
to
like-
this shit coming on.
but or if one person sees like my blue looks like purple to you, or colors, if you see colors is totally different too, because there's no way to test that, because
I don't
everybody
think so. What
that's
color's
blue,
your
that's
shirt?
blue. Well, it's orange,
Right.
but this orange
So
might
I
look.
see orange and you see orange. What's the fucking problem?
But what if you actually see blue? Like,
I don't.
this is actually blue. But you would never know because if you look at it and it looks
I
blue
would
to
know
you,
because I asked you what color it is to you, and you said orange, and you asked what color I saw it as, and I said orange.
But what if your blue is my orange and my orange is your blue, and
one of us would be wrong?
But you're not following. You're not getting it. Never mind. This topic is over. Johnson said. Clearly.
Can that be a segment for us trying to describe colors?
I don't know. I'm just really excited about how the color 3 smells.
Suddenly, this turned into a pothead podcast.
Right.
Let's get baked and talked about colors.
Back to the whiskey. It's a little bit darker. I mean, it's a little bit darker than some of our whiskeys, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's
probably on par with like it looks about on par with like the number 9.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Overall, Maker's Mark.
I'm going to say this is a 3.9 out of 5. 3.8.
I actually really like this.
I kind of do too. I'm
top of the podium.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, well,
it's good. I definitely like it.
I would probably.
Is it in contention?
I would probably put it ahead of Pendleton. I don't know about Cedar Ridge, but
I think I think you're pretty damn close, Box. I'd say between Pendleton and number 9, or just ahead of Pendleton. Is where I would put it. I don't think it gets on the podium.
So it's good.
It's
good
good
stuff.
It's definitely good.
Well, we got to know where to put it on there.
Right in the Pendleton number 9 area, I would think. I don't know.
Just estimate. This is official shit, Sam. People look to us for whiskey tasting advice.
Who?
Oh, there's got to be some.
I don't know.
There's got to be some idiot out there.
Some poor schmuck.
Actually, somebody messaged me the other day asking if I had tried a specific whiskey. So
yeah,
maybe.
On a scale of 1 to 19, I'd give it. It's pretty good. I'd give it a 14 out of 19.
So, okay, that's like 7 out of... Yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I dig it. I'm gonna stay with my 3.8 out of 5. I'm gonna rate it normally.
Box, what's your rating?
I'll give it a 1 out of 2.
50%. Solid.
Okay then. Alrighty then.
I like it.
I think it's good. It's there's definitely a sweetness there that I am enjoying more than like the gut rot sweet on some of the flavored ones that we've had. But
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
The girlfriend did good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Moving on. Box mentioned something a while back. He posed a question that I don't believe we had talked about yet. It might have been mentioned, but I don't think we've not. I
love this topic.
We've not delved into it. But should dueling be legal? Dueling, as in 10 spaces,
10
and
paces,
10 and a turn and shoot.
Spaces or paces?
Technically, it's
spaces. You're on a Monopoly board.
Oh,
paces, spaces. It's pretty freaking close. You can't expect me to differentiate between the two.
I didn't know if I had the terminology wrong. My whole life was a lie. I didn't know.
No. So the idea is 2 people have a difference of opinion, and they says, well, instead of fighting, throwing fists or whatever,
we're gonna kill each other.
We're gonna commit to one of us gets fucking shot. Whoever the winner wins, and that is what it is. What's your guys' opinion on that? Because if two people sign a contract and say, hey, I am committing to this, I don't want the other person to be charged. If I die, it is what it is. Why shouldn't that be legal?
I don't know. I mean, that kind of goes to like somebody pulling the plug, right? Kind of like if a doctor decides like, oh, this person's not going to live, I'm just going to, if I like, just because I have a contract that says I can't write a contract that says, hey, if somebody breaks into my house and steals all my shit, I don't want them to be charged. Like they can still be arrested for theft, right? Like that's still
well, yeah,
not
but
a thing.
why can't you enter into a gentleman's agreement, as they used to say, and it is what it is. Like and that's not the same as like say a person committing suicide or anything,
right?
Because you going into this duel, your intent is not to die. Your intent is to kill the other person. I mean, so it's not quite the same. But if two people agree, why not?
I don't know. I mean,
it's against the gambling laws.
You're gambling your life. Well, in free states, then it's Iowa, Nevada. You should be able to do it. Then why not? What are the arguments against this other than morality?
Well, yeah. Other than the clear statement of morality, and I don't know. I think it's weird because, like in something like theft, you can press charges or not press charges. In murder, you can't not press charges.
But it's not murder. If you commit,
you're killing someone. That's murder.
It's a homicide.
Okay.
There's a difference between murder and homicide.
I would think it would fall under, I don't know, manslaughter or something?
Premeditated homicide, premeditated manslaughter.
Well, I'm sure it falls into a lot of things.
I don't think manslaughter can be premeditated.
Can
I think technically manslaughter is like an accident or something.
That's generally what they say.
Well, yeah, vehicular manslaughter stuff.
So
like
I guess it probably wouldn't fall under manslaughter either. I accidentally shot him in a duel.
No, it'd definitely be like
Right.
if say two people entered into this contract now, judging by the laws of the U.S., it doesn't matter. That person would be charged with murder. If whoever won, that's just what it is. But why is there's no reason why not? There's really no reason, because if two people want to enter into that and it is what it is, maybe there should be like a 3-day waiting period. Like, they can cool off and actually think about it rather than they're just pissed off and they're like, okay, and enter into it and then it's done. And
we need background checks to do a duel.
I think it's,
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
We could even have
as far as like it being legal and illegal, right? Like, it's obviously illegal to do that now, but do we think it should be legal? Is that your basic question?
Yeah.
Is it should be legal?
Yeah. There's no reason.
I don't see why not.
There's no reason. There's no good reasons why not. If you can prove you're of sound mind when you're into the agreement.
I think like what you said though, with the waiting period, that would make more sense. Like give everybody a chance to just cool the fuck off here for a minute. Like, you realize what you're signing up for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give them a little cool down time, and they can either take that time to prepare themselves and practice their quick draw, or just be like, you know what, I changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really not that much different from combat sports. There's always the chance of death when you get in the ring and that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different getting shot by a gun than going into a ring.
To death. Yeah.
But yeah,
I would rather get shot to death than punched to death.
And this was one of our early episodes. We talked about Facebook having a challenge button.
Oh yeah.
Like, if this person pisses you off, you can challenge them and go and do in the ring with them. You could have, Facebook's a bunch of pussies now, but you could have the non-pussified social medias that are coming down the road here that I bet are going to be born before too long. You could have a duel button. You're like, this motherfucker pissed me off. Duel. You can challenge him to a duel if that person accepts. You have a 3-day cooling off period. Then you have agreed upon terms and everything. Then you meet up.
And you know what the best part is? Nobody's going to read the terms. They're just going to check the box. I am not a robot. Accept. Do the CAPTCHA. We're done.
And you can have separate levels of duels. Like, at the base layer, you start with a 22 revolver. When you really want to, you gotta unload into them, and it can go different levels. 22, 9mm, 45, and then you could have like grenade launchers and
50 BMGs,
Barretts,
RPGs. Tomahawk missiles.
Now you're just turning it into a game, though. People are like, oh, I got to kill this many people to get the Barrett. I'm going to have that Barrett in no time.
And then when they challenge
trying to unlock the new weapons for duels.
Yeah, right? And when they challenge you to a duel, you can go and look at that person's stats and be like, all right, this person's been 24 duels and he hasn't lost yet. I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where the limitations come in there too, because if you had a duel button Like, and I know how much you like to argue with people on the internet.
I can only imagine.
I can only imagine how many duels. Like, you wouldn't even be able to have a job. You'd just be a full-time gunfighter.
Sam would be dead.
Like,
yeah, judging from how I handled myself in throwing burritos last night in the duels, I'm not good.
Yeah,
I was not good. I was not good.
No, he got hit with more burritos last night than I think I've ever seen anybody get hit.
And that is not a sexual innuendo.
I was going to say, this sounds kind of sexual, guys.
No, definitely not.
It's actually like a card game.
Yeah, that's what you say now.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's the story you're sticking with, huh?
Did you think it was fun?
Yeah. Other than the fact that I sucked, I never finished with positive points. I was negative every time.
Like, I think Shabray had 8 points on the first round. I had 9 points on the second round. He had -1 and -2. It's like, how do you?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen anybody go negative. Also,
not much of a burrito thrower.
Well, the problem is, like, I got my cards in my left hand, and then when they say burrito or brawl or whatever, you got to grab the burrito and put it around your back. And I'm not smart enough or quick enough to drop the fucking cards down, so the cards go flying, and I'm just, I just get all flustered, and it just didn't work.
So he's got one arm behind his back with a burrito, the other hand full of cards. He drops the cards and gets beamed in the face with a burrito. That's basically about how it goes.
Pretty much how the whole round went. Pretty solid. Yeah, Sam's not good at throwing burritos. That's the game, right? Throw burrito.
Throw burrito.
Okay.
Yep.
My apologies. Check that out on Amazon.com. Actually, don't check it out on Amazon. Go and buy it from a mom and pop shop because Amazon.
Go find a game store. Go find I don't know if there's any of those around here. Is there?
Yeah. There's a few. I think Thinker Toys sells all that shit.
Oh, yeah, Thinker Toys does, yeah.
I haven't been in there in a long time. I should go check it out.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since I've been there.
And
realistically, I've only gone to the bar side.
Yeah, let's be honest.
I mean,
Let's go get hammered and buy some toys.
I went to the Castle Pub, to the bar side of it, and drank a little bit, and then went over there and looked at the Legos. Man, it was hard to not spend like $500 on Legos.
Well, dude, you got 2 kids. You can totally blame all that shit.
I know I can now.
You come home, Johnson. What the hell? It's for the kids.
That was like 2 years ago. Wyatt was 3, and it was like a 18,000 piece fucking Star Wars Death Star fucking Lego set. I can't be like,
I bet they still got it.
People not familiar or from around here are probably like, what the f***? There's a bar in this toy store.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it used to be like almost like a jungle gym type area, and they
used to be awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. They got rid of all that, and basically the half that used to be kind of like the jungle gym party room area, they just turned that into a bar, and then it's obviously separated. But then the other half of the building is a place called Thinker Toys, where it's all just toys. It's, everything from board games, card games, Legos, stuff like that, to like STEM games and puzzles and
it's exactly what it sounds like.
Homemade
Thinker
wood toys.
Yeah, it's none of that. None of this bullshit fucking video games.
Right.
Do they even have video games and stuff there?
No.
So it's definitely, if you're looking for cool shit for your kids, go and get them stuff like that rather than all these trash video games and stuff that they're so available now. Yeah, before I forget, our 50th episode is coming up here pretty soon, and we're wondering, we want to do something different, a little something special. If any of the listeners have any ideas of something crazy we could do for the 50th episode, or if we should do it live, or
blow up Tannerite in the studio.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
What if we just had like a bottle cap full of
a nugget?
Yeah.
We could do it in the back room. We got plenty of room back there.
We could
blow up a pound in the back room, and
we're all gonna die from shrapnel.
Yeah. You know how much shit would get scattered back there?
Or we can go in the basement. We got a shooting range in the basement. We can just freaking go and
indoor Tannerite.
Hell
Boy, that just sounds like a good time.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I know, but it sounds fun.
So if you have any ideas of
other
something
than that,
legitimate
we shouldn't
that
do
we
that.
can do, we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll mull it over, maybe we should just figure out how to do it live. It'd be kind of fun to do another podcast live, but
yeah,
we haven't done a Saturday night episode in quite a long time. That might be a good time to do it.
Didn't we just do Saturday night
get
last
a good
week?
load on?
We did a Saturday afternoon.
Oh.
It wasn't a Saturday night.
Saturday night
Saturday
special.
night.
Saturday night, you know what I mean?
Yeah. not.
It's right. Every one that we used to do, it'd start off, it's pretty tame, but by the end of it was always,
real mess.
We could do a live Saturday night special somehow.
Yeah.
possibly.
How are we going to do that in here?
Good question.
We'd need a really long Ethernet cable.
Mobile hotspot.
Maybe we'll figure it out. But if you have any ideas or anything, let us know, and we'd be glad to hear them. So this is something I was kind of thinking about earlier this week. Is like as far as the financial collapse. Like, I don't understand how people can watch the U.S. going into further and further debt. They just keep raising the debt ceiling and keep raising the debt ceiling. What's the fucking point of having a debt ceiling if you just keep raising it? Like, I mean, how stupid are we?
They
here?
like to party. Raise the roof.
But we just keep going farther and farther into debt. We just keep printing more and more money, devaluing it. You know, so the price. I mean, inflation is going up. The dollar is going down. How do people not think?
I don't know
that at some point we're going to hit that cliff and the dollar is going to be fucking completely worthless.
Yeah,
politicians will save us. They're there for us, Sam.
Yeah,
I honestly believe that's a problem. Yeah, people think that like this is the only system they've known their entire life, so they think it's going to be there forever.
And they're perfectly okay with, you know what? We're in an incredible amount of debt.
About $28 trillion right now.
Yeah, so it's like, well, you know what we should do? Yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Coronavirus relief program. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to spend $2 trillion.
Right,
and we're going
to
give like at least half of that to other countries. We're going to send our money outside of the country.
Yeah,
to never be seen again. Well, so we're going to give $1 trillion to people that we don't know
and we don't
like and don't like us and aren't going to pay us back. We're going to give them $1 trillion of money that we don't have. Just write them a check. Who are we giving this to? I don't know.
Everybody.
Pakistan. Well, what does Pakistan need the money for? I don't know. They're confused on genders. Send them some money. Send them a couple $100 million.
Yeah, well, okay. I think we pretty well bitched on that aspect of it enough last time.
Well, I mean, but it only makes the situation worse. You know.
See, that's what I don't understand. Like, people can see us going further and further. Because if a business operated like this, if a business was $28 million in debt and just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper with no set plan how to get out and didn't give a just kept getting
we'll figure it out.
At a certain point, you're going to default on your loans. Period. You're not going to be able to make your payments. I don't know when that'll be. But and once that happens, boom, you're done. I mean, you can't make your payments. People start repoing shit. I don't know how that all fucking works in the giant global economy.
I don't know.
But you have to understand that eventually we're going to hit that cliff, and I don't get how people are just like, oh, it's fine.
Well, the plan is to, I think, probably just raise taxes. We got to pay for this shit somehow.
And that's all fine and good.
Remember, we gave you guys a $600 check. We're going to need $1,100 from you this year.
That's all fine and well until you, I mean, even if that was the case, if they keep going further and further into debt, we keep raising taxes to keep up with it. Eventually, there's only so much you can tax. You're going to hit 100%. You're going to hit, it's already at 35% for a lot of earners, which is fucking insane. Can you imagine if the founding fathers were alive right now and they knew we were taxing people over a third of their income?
Right.
They would shoot every single person in the face because of that shit. I mean, it's just ludicrous.
You want to tax my tea 2%? How about you go dig it out of the fucking river?
I don't think it was even 2%, was it? It was like so. It was like 1% or some shit. It was astronomically low.
Yeah.
But that's the how far we've fallen.
Right.
And that's one thing that I get a lot of times when I talk to people, or I mention about my buying assets that are sort of a hedge against inflation and the collapses, such as precious metals and stuff like that, product or materials that go up in value as the dollar goes down. I mean, it's not directly
not directly related,
but it is. I mean, in hard times, a lot of times, stocks go down, gold and silver goes up.
Right, but it's not a 1-for-1 correlation.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
But people think like, I mentioned it to somebody that I buy. Well, why? Why would you buy gold or silver? That's stupid. What? why would you keep all your money in cash? Because guess what? That cash is fucking worthless at the end of the day. When the dollar collapses into zero, you can't even buy a fucking Tootsie Roll with that dollar. So what's the point of it? You know, why not put it in something that
I would say cash is better than keeping it all in the bank.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
It's not nearly as good as diversifying where you hold your money, you know.
Right. So I think the main problem is people just this is all they've known their entire life, so I think it's going to be there, and they think that politicians, who mind you are just fucking people just like us, they don't have a clue what's going on a lot of times. They're going to somehow magically make everything better, and somehow our debt's going to disappear, which is fucking stupid. It's not going away.
Yeah, we're going to reach a tipping point at some point of no return, or well, not no return, but like you said, we're going off a cliff at some point.
Well, there won't be a return. Like, how do you pay off $28 trillion?
Use your military to take over another country and steal all their oil and oil production and wells and stuff, and then make a bunch of money selling oil.
Well, it's clearly not working for us still, because we're going further and further into debt.
Yeah. Because they won't let us. Never mind. That's a whole nother topic.
But I kind of wanted to.
Because we don't use the oil that we have, we buy it from other fucking countries instead of using our own and producing our own.
Well, we're starting to get a little bit better on that,
Stupid.
but yes.
Oh, that's going to get shut down.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm sure it is. But I kind of wanted to use this conversation as a jumping off point into into Bitcoin. Like, you guys are both kind of familiar with Bitcoin, correct? So if in the instance you don't know what Bitcoin is and you're listening to this, it's a cryptocurrency. So it's essentially coins. There's nothing backing it. It's just a coin that everybody agrees upon is worth so much.
And it's based
That's a terrible explanation for people that don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's based over the internet. It's not a real coin. It's a type of currency. So it's basically like you would have an online bank, right? And there's instead of it being $1, it is a Bitcoin. So you can have partial Bitcoins. You don't have to have a whole Bitcoin, right? So if you had, say you had roughly 40,000 US dollars in this account, that would be roughly one Bitcoin right now, right? And it's just like a stock. So I would almost compare it more to a share of stock.
Kind of.
That would be a better way to explain it to people who don't know what it is. It's basically a share. The value of it changes. It varies.
Fluctuates,
it goes up and down. And there's no physical thing that you have, right? Like I can't go cash it in, right? You can sell it to somebody. It's just like stocks, to where you could sell that Bitcoin to somebody else for X amount of US dollars. So I look at it more as a stock than a currency, but the difference is you can use it as a currency.
Yeah, you can certainly buy different things.
You can buy things with.
And it's all
Bitcoin.
obviously it's obviously all online, all done on your phone and e-wallets and stuff like that.
I think most people treat it more like stocks than they do currency.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's spent that much,
Yeah, it's actually more common than you would think. There is some places, and I've thought about accepting Bitcoin, but I don't want to go down that road yet. It fluctuates so much. But there are a lot of places that are accepting it. The first Bitcoin purchase was two pizzas, I believe, and he spent quite a few Bitcoins to get it.
I wish I remember. I don't want to say, for some reason, I want to say it was like 13 Bitcoin or something for two pizzas,
which
or something.
Now
like
would be worth millions of dollars. So he totally, whoever bought that really wishes he hadn't, because back then Bitcoin was selling for a few bucks a piece, or now it's one Bitcoin is 40. It's right now, I think it's around 37,000 a piece. But the draw of this is it's not centralized. It's all, there's no central authority controlling anything. It's all just run on computers all over the world. Yeah. It's all user-based. And everybody, what I said, like, to start off, it's not backed by anything. It's agreed upon how much each Bitcoin is worth by everybody. Everybody, this is what it's worth, so this is what we're going to treat it as. Right now, one Bitcoin is 37,000. That's what it is. If tomorrow it drops to 25,000, well, that's what it is. It's not backed by nothing. It's just kind of an agreed upon price, which is, which is intriguing and kind of terrifying at the same time. I mean, it's cool. The main, and I do own some. I own Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just got into it a little bit. But that's the big draw of it for me. There's nobody controlling this, and there's nobody falsely, like the U.S. dollar. They're totally free to do whatever the hell they want to what's the word I'm looking for? Dump a bunch of money into it and it makes it fluctuate however they see fit. They can falsely
alter
the right.
The value.
And that's what's so intriguing to me about Bitcoin is there's nobody controlling it. There's no governments that can control it. They're totally out of it. And that's the thing that I think it also terrifies governments because they don't have any way to get their fair share of of my Bitcoin. And that's kind of cool. I mean, I like that as far as, screw the government. They don't need to know how many Bitcoin I have.
Right.
But Box, you said you started reading up on it a little bit. You're intrigued, but not enough to get invested in it.
I was just curious exactly what it was and how it worked. I don't really have. I was thinking, how are they mined? What do you got to do to get into mining and shit? I didn't read too much. I looked up like one article.
Yeah.
So I don't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah. What was that story you were telling us about that hard drive that dude threw?
Yeah, some dude, he had like 72 or 7,300 Bitcoin on a hard drive back in 2013, and he thought he had backed it all up onto another hard drive, but the backup failed or something like that, and he ended up throwing the hard drive out. So after that, he realized, that's worth a whole fucking lot of money.
It's a $250 million.
So now he's offering the city where the landfill is $70 million to help him find that hard drive, which is $70 million is a quarter of what's on that hard drive.
Yeah,
Man.
that'd be fun.
Can you imagine going through a landfill trying to find one
little
hard drive
from 8 years ago?
Yeah,
that shit's 40 feet deep.
Yeah, there's no fucking way they would ever find that shit. That's unfortunate for that dude. That sucks.
Well, and that's kind of, we were talking about that too, is there's a finite amount of Bitcoin as well.
There is 21 billion Bitcoin that can possibly be
Isn't
mined.
it million?
21 million or 21 billion?
I feel like it's million.
Look that up quick. One of those two.
But there is a finite amount. So in that scenario where that dude lost 7,300 of them.
Right. That's gone and lost forever. There's no way to recover those.
Right. So now there's 7,300 less in circulation.
And I'm sure there's quite a few other people that have lost them or forgot their passwords and can't access them or anything like that. Did you find a box?
Yeah, it's million.
21 million?
Yeah.
So, and that's the cool thing about it is whereas the US dollar, they just keep printing more and the value just keeps going down.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Bitcoin there's a finite number and it will never be more than that. So the price is going to keep going up. And there's quite a few people that are saying that, 40,000 per Bitcoin seems really high right now, but there's quite a few people that are saying that who knows where it could be. It could 500,000, it could reach 1 million. You never know.
I've heard hundreds of thousands is what they plan on, in the next year or two, seeing a couple $100,000 per Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I threw some money at it, just shits and giggles, see what it does. And if it doubles, quadruples, that's cool, and it's already made me a little bit of money, so kind of neat. Just something to diversify my portfolio a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm getting older. I'm kind of looking into that sort of thing a lot more. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I think it's going to be big in the future, just because of the way the economy is going and the fucking idiots running it that seem intent on driving us into the dirt.
Right.
They can't do that with Bitcoin. They don't have a way to. And it's similar. A lot of people are calling Bitcoin like the gold of the cryptocurrency world. It's just a hedge against inflation and all the morons artificially jacking with it. So
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it goes big and I'm a millionaire before too long. Fingers crossed.
The one thing I can't I guess I don't quite understand with it is how does the price fluctuate? Because more people buy it, like because more people or because more of the 21 million are spoken for and mined and found. Once there's more in circulation, they're worth more, or how, you know what I mean? Like, what makes the price fluctuate? If it's just an agreed upon amount, it's worth X amount of dollars. Did you, if you're a partial owner, did you get an email saying how much should it be worth today? It's like, not just like people get to pick how much it's worth, because then I'd just say, well, it's worth $10 million.
Right. Well, and I'm a horrible person to ask on that, but a lot of it is, say it's at 40,000 and everybody decides, ooh, that's a lot of money, and they want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So more people are selling. The demand the supply is more, and the price goes down.
Right.
Until you reach a certain point, and everybody decides they're going to start buying again. And the bottom, and it did that the other day. It was at 42,000, then it dropped like $10,000 to about 30,000, and that's when I bought in. Was after that big drop. And then once it bottomed out at that level and people started, we're going to start buying again. And then the value started going up. And that's like, I don't know. To answer your question,
it is just a stock, basically.
Essentially, yeah. That's essentially how it's working. Yeah. So I'm the worst person to ask that question to. That's my very rudimentary understanding of it. But then again, I'm also don't speak well, so do not take financial advice from Life Short Live Free, because I'm a moron and don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's my very.
So people buy based on speculation that the price is going to go up. Correct. So then the more that people buy, the price then goes up. But when the price gets high enough, people sell, which the supply obviously goes up and the demand goes down because people are selling, therefore the price drops.
Correct.
Just so it is virtually a stock in that sense.
Yeah, it acts exactly like a stock. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And you purchase these just through a stock trader, right? Just like normal?
No, you cannot, because they're not
just like normal stocks, or what?
No, they're not certified or whatever, the ETA, whatever. There's like ETH or ETF or whatever.
Yeah.
You cannot buy them on a normal stock exchange. So there are some stocks you can buy that are invested in Bitcoin, but you're not. So you're investing in those stocks, but you're not actually investing in the Bitcoin themselves.
Itself.
So what I did is there's an app called Coinbase, I believe it is. Let me double check that. So if you guys want to get involved with it, it is called Coinbase. But that actually lets you buy cryptocurrency directly. Like, so I actually own Bitcoin and I can put it in my wallet. Whereas if you just own stocks, you can't put it in your wallet. That's just, the stock is all you own. So it's essentially treated like it acts like a stock.
Yeah.
Yes, but Coinbase is what I use. So eventually they're talking about it will be certified to be on the in the stock market and stuff like that. Who knows when or if that'll happen, but I guess yeah. We'll see. Kind of cool though. I'm intrigued by it. I think it's a cool deal.
What's not cool is how much more expensive ammo is getting still. Still going up.
It's last I looked, the cheapest online for 5.56 was $1 a round.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
9mm is around 60, 70 cents a round.
Yeah, I was gonna say 65. To
even
70.
7.62 by 39 was like
58.
Yeah, for fucking steel cased AK rounds is like
58 cents a round. I know. And I was telling you, last night I was hemming and hawing at, finishing my other AK and just buying more 7.62 by 39 ammo. And I sat there at night, it was like, looked at it like Friday. So like Friday night, I'm laying in bed and I had ammo seek up and I'm like, 50 cents a round. I don't know. It was a case of 1,000 for $500 and it was like free shipping. I was like, I don't know. Went to bed, got up first thing in the morning, got on the computer, ammo seek, cheapest one, 58 cents a round. I was like, well, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like, and ammo is acting like a stock too.
Oh,
I mean, as much as it fluctuates.
Yeah, and it doesn't, well, as fast as it changes, you mean. It doesn't fluctuate. It just goes up. It
never seems to come back down.
Yeah. Screaming. But yeah, it's, I don't know. And it's crazy because like people are buying like crazy and there's more people buying than there ever has been. But, you know, it's just so hard for when, you know, the ammo producers get behind, like with COVID and stuff, and they had to space people out and they couldn't have as many people working there for a while. You know, they slow production down. Well, then you got to make that back up, you know, at some point. But then your demand just keeps increasing and you're trying to produce as fast as you can. So you already had, you know, you were already short on what you normally would have made. And now you got people buying more and more and more and you were already behind. It's like, yeah, it was bound to happen.
It's freaking insane. So Box, you mentioned something about this subject, and also to do with like the financial aspects of it. Using money you don't have to buy this shit what was your thoughts on it?
I was just curious about it. 'Cause, I mean, there's obviously a lot of people struggling financially right now, and who knows what's going to happen with the country over the next few years. So I don't know. I was just thinking about people feeling the need to, if it's stupid for people to feel the need to say like max out a credit card or something to get the things that they feel are
necessary,
absolutely necessary for what's possibly coming. Say, I don't know. Say that I don't know how to word it without sounding like a crazy person, I guess.
Hey, you can ask my wife. I have gone full fucking crazy person. However you want, I'll say it. Basically, are you gonna prepare for a doomsday situation and just fully max out your credit cards, take out loans, and just say, hey, you know what? When all this shit goes down, I won't have to pay that shit back anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought is.
Right, but that's a hedge that you had, you know, like a bet you have to take with yourself.
Right, that's the risk.
Okay, I'm going to risk this because I truly think that there will be a financial collapse. There will be, you know, a whole shit hit the fan scenario. So I'm going to max out this credit card to get, you know, solar power for my house, or, you know, like just random shit. I'm going to stock up on MREs and shit, you know, fill my basement with bleach water. You know, like, do you spend all that money and just say, well, I hope I'm right and I don't have to pay this shit back because I can't, you know?
Yeah. I mean, is that a stupid idea?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're totally hedging the bet on if it is going to collapse and you don't have, you're thinking you won't have to pay that shit back. Not necessarily. I'm saying this is pretty much saying do what you have to do to prepare for what you think is coming, whether it's financial collapse, a civil war, or whatever. But what if you think what is coming doesn't come, and now you're in credit card debt?
But what if it does? What if it does, and you don't prepare?
Right.
I think you're better off preparing as you can with your current financial situation than going into massive debt for something that is nobody knows how it's going to play out.
It's not a guarantee, and that's the hard part, is it's not guaranteed that even if we do have a civil war, that, you know, you're not going to have to pay your credit card bill, right?
Yeah.
Oh, those you think those companies are just going to forget and forgive? Hell no.
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't see that.
So I don't know. To me, it makes more sense to, yes, prepare with what you know that you can afford, right? Like, and the biggest thing that I think, I don't know, it depends on, I guess it would vary based on what you thought the incoming doom was going to be, you know?
Well, that, and what about the people that literally have no money to spare.
Yeah.
They need the money that they have to survive right now, so they can't spare anything to prepare for what's coming in the future.
I can see like somebody say you have no ammo and you need a case. I can see spending, well, shit, I don't have $700 now, but I want a case that's 556. You know, maybe put that on a credit card. I don't recommend it. I could understand why somebody would do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you should go and, you know, spend $15,000 preparing for a doomsday that may never come, you know.
No,
especially on credit cards that are, you know,
24% interest
whatever
rate,
interest
shit
rate
like, you know,
they are on it. It'd be one thing if it was like a
bank loan at
2, 3, 4%.
Well,
so at
even a bank loan at like 8 or 10%, you know, way better than a credit card at.
So at what point would you actually think just maxing fucking everything out would be acceptable? Just spending all the fucking, taking all the loans out that you can get is acceptable.
When?
Yeah. Say like
when it's imminent, when you know it's coming, when you can, you know
like,
what I mean?
You
like,
think it's a week out,
a month out? Yeah.
But at that point, everything's gone anyways.
Right.
I mean, what are you going to be
really.
What are you going to be able to get?
Not really.
I mean, as far as like, say it's a week out, you think you're going to be able to get ammo online that way? Because you certainly won't be able to get it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe if you know that it's coming and it's like a month out, if you can, you know, kind of gauge that. I don't know. We've never been in that situation. I don't fucking know.
I think
How do we know when the credit card machines go down? How do we know when the fucking stores close up? We don't know any of that
I
shit.
think overall it's just a bad idea.
Yes, I think it is a bad idea, but
see, I don't see it as that bad of an idea though.
I don't
if
think
you're talking about going into massive debt yourself, I'm going to advise you against it.
I already have. I got like 4 credit cards and they're all maxed at $20,000.
You're just trying to feel better about yourself, so you're trying to sell us on it.
Exactly.
No,
tell me my decision wasn't terrible.
I don't know. It's hard to judge because we've never been in that scenario. And how do you know that it's coming? I think if you could tell that there was imminent danger and you knew that you had to do that to survive, like, hey, I would rather have to file for bankruptcy, deal with, you know, all the shit of life crippling debt, but still be alive versus, you know, well, I died, but I wasn't in $80,000 worth of debt.
Well,
like,
you guys realize, like, part of preparing and part of prepping is being financially stable and financially responsible.
I'm a terrible prepper then.
I mean, it's getting everything in line and being prepared, for instance, you know, for shit.
Yeah.
And whether that's an armed conflict or financial hardship.
I don't.
So if you're putting yourself in a financial situation, you're not really any better off than, you know.
I don't know. It depends on the what your scenario is.
Well, I will tell you right now that I think the probability of the dollar collapsing and everybody being in financial hardship is a hell of a lot better, than a Call of Duty running around.
Oh yeah,
shoot 'em up war.
100%.
And people are going to be living off the grid. I think that probability is extremely low. So if you're going to if you're going to prepare for for both of them, but don't put yourself in a situation you're preparing for something that the probability of it is so extremely low, and the probability of you being financially fucked is extremely high.
And I don't know, in that scenario where the dollar goes to shit and everybody's in a financial hardship, do you really care that you're in life crippling debt?
Yeah. You ever been in life crippling debt? You ever been so fucking broke that you don't know how you're going to make your next payment?
You ever fought for your life?
It sucks ass.
Would you rather be in debt or dead?
But the probability of you having to look at the probability. The probability is if you go into life crippling debt that you're gonna have to fucking deal with that, and you're never gonna have to do any of that other shit that you prepared for. It's more high that the likelihood is more high that you're gonna be f***ed from the financial situation than you're going to be f***ed from somebody's coming to kill you survivalist situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know where you draw the line where it's like, you know what, f*** it. I'm just gonna max everything because I'm gonna die if I don't.
Well,
because I don't think there's ever been a scenario in American history where any of us have needed, to do that. And that's why it's so hard to. That's why it's hard to gauge when that would be okay, because we've never been in that situation.
Here's the solution. I think personally, like, yes, everybody thinks that civil war is imminent. It's gonna fucking happen tomorrow. It ain't. We have a little bit of time yet. I would bet you that we have years yet.
I think we've got 2-ish.
We have at least several. So all I'm saying is I'm good, thank you. Do what you can to prepare now for the next. You can accomplish a lot if you put your mind to it with minimal resources in the next couple years.
A big thing that people don't prepare very well with is knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Books. Buy books.
Hell yeah. That's one thing too.
You can buy the out of tools, but if you don't know how to fucking use them, you're going to be hosed anyway.
100%.
Buy fucking books. There are literally, and I'm not a big, a proponent of Amazon. I dislike Amazon, but dude, there's so many books that can teach you how to do so many things. Go to your local bookstore, see if you can find, or a library, see if there, because there's books that are lost skills, how to knife making, making leather, well, there's taking care of animals.
Americans now foraging. Are so dependent on their phones.
Yeah.
They don't realize that when the grid goes down, you have knowledge of absolutely nothing, because everything you want to know, you look up. You don't actually frickin' learn anything. So absolutely, I agree. Get books on how to do everything. How to cut down trees, how to make wood. How to cut lumber with an axe. How to harvest animals. How to can food.
Yeah.
How to plant. How to garden. How to
forage.
How to heat your home.
What vegetables around you. What wild things around you can you eat? What you can't.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things that.
So I think
people are ignorant too.
I think you're far better off preparing that way, Box, just doing what you can with what you have, because you can accomplish. Like I said,
if
you
put
your mind to
amount, right? So I think you can. To me, I think a safe bet would to be what's your monthly income? Spend that on preparations. Make sure you have, do the best with that amount of money. Say I make X amount of dollars in a month, right? Say a person makes $2,000 a month, right? Is what they take home. They make $500 a week. I would say that's probably a pretty average number. So take $2,000. So how am I going to best spend my $200? What do I think is going to happen? Do I think it's going to be a financial collapse where I'm just going to buy $2,000 worth of silver? Or am I going to buy, $1,000 worth of silver, $700 worth of ammo, and some, freeze-dried food for $300?
Mm-hmm. And also your community is a big thing, because, like, I don't know where you are in your preps, Box, like how prepared you truly are, but as far as your community, you're hooked up with people that are, fairly better off than most, I will say.
Yeah.
So your community is a big deal too. Like, just being hooked up with people that know a little bit and are prepared a little bit. So that's one thing that we need to get, everybody of us needs to get better at, is building our community as far as that sort of thing goes.
Well, and that's, so we're all better we had that, talk on a couple episodes ago about, creating a community where, in that type of situation where, hey, I can, bring this to the table. So, okay, yeah, you can come stay here, and, as long as you can take care of kids, or you can build fire, you can, you're good at gardening, you're good at fishing, as long as you can provide something, basically provide a skill to the community. You
Be
know,
a whore.
be helpful. Yeah.
Whatever, you know.
You think I could do that?
Maybe you might want to put a little meat on your bones, but sure, yeah, absolutely. But
He
yeah,
tried, it didn't
so my answer to that is very minimal. Don't spend money that you don't have.
Well, that's why I say I think a good rule is like a month, right? How much do you make in a month? It's going to set you back a month's worth of pay, but it's like I'm not taking a year's salary and trying to, you know.
Yeah, you can, and that, like I said several times, you can accomplish a lot with a little as long as you put your mind to it and gaining knowledge and smartly preparing rather than just buying as much shit as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really saying civil war could be possible in a couple of years. That wasn't really the scenario. Is okay, it's looking like things are really going to go down here.
Right.
Which, not immediately imminent, but okay, we're really close to shit hitting the fan.
Yeah.
Do you guys honestly think, though, that all of a sudden the credit card companies are just going to forget?
I don't fucking care if they forget or not. I'll change my name and move. Live in the fucking hills.
Yeah, that's one thing that, like, I don't know. It depends on what actually goes down. Like, you know, if you have the internet goes down, the power goes down, you know, power grid fails, whatever, or just shuts down because nobody's there to run it because everybody's going to stay home. Well,
yeah.
How do they contact me? Are they going to when everybody who works at that fucking credit card company doesn't have power, doesn't have internet, can't, you know, like, are they going to drive to my house and be like, sir, your credit card bill is due? No.
No, but they might have fucking hit squads coming out and be like, "Hey,
Jesus Christ,
you owe us $20,000.
Yeah.
Give us toilet paper and food,
Credit
or we're gonna shoot you in the face."
Credit card hit squads.
But
yeah,
you never know.
I can see that in the future. I'm pretty sure there's probably movies like that.
there's the next blockbuster $1 million movie.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Credit
Hollywood.
card hit squad.
There is a movie called like Repo or something that's similar to that, where you get except it's organs, and if you can't pay them off, they come and just fucking kill you and take the organs back or whatever.
I think I've seen that. It rings a bell, or at least I've seen the trailer to it.
I can't remember what the movie is with Justin Timberlake, and he's got that number in his arm or whatever. Everybody's got their number.
I know that one too.
Like
I don't know what it is.
That's your money.
Oh yeah.
I can't, because it's time, right? So it's like a
when your time,
you pay with
when your time runs out, you die.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I can't remember what it is. It's an interesting concept.
Well, that kind of, I don't know. That kind of like it makes me think of like the cashless society thing. Everybody just, you know, here's your number and this is how much money you have, and we'll tell you when and where you can't spend it. Basically, like, oh, you did this wrong, we're gonna shut your number off.
That's the thing about the non-centralized currency.
Oh yeah,
though. Nobody can fucking do that.
Yeah,
that's kind of the cool part of it too.
Yeah, but what if you
somebody can do that?
Or, like Box is saying, I don't have any money. Good luck with your centralized bank trying to find me. I'm just buried in a pile of all of my stuff that I paid for with all that money.
Oh, yeah. I hope you're not actually taking financial advice from us. So I don't recommend going into massive debt because you think the Civil War is imminent. No. But
I think you should be.
I think you should.
I think you should be. I think you should be prepared and, you know, make wise decisions on things that you truly believe are necessary. Hey, I have 500 rounds of 5.56. Should I buy another 1,000 rounds? It's going to, you know, I'm going to have to put that on a credit card. That's going to be $800, and I'm going to, you know, pay back $1,200 over the 9 months that it's going to take me to pay that off. Is that worth it? No. If you have 500 rounds of 5.56, how long are you going to be okay? Quite a fucking while, honestly. If you're in that situation, you're not going to go fucking target shoot 100 rounds in a day. You know, like if you're in that situation, 500 rounds is going to last quite a fucking while.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
maybe.
Like, well, depending on the scenario. If you're talking survival type, yeah, it's going to last you a long fucking time.
What really got me thinking about it though is Sam's getting tired of this lasting so long. This segment lasting so long.
Readjusting.
But I was thinking, yeah, civil war is a possibility in the next few years. I think everyone kind of agrees on that. Nobody knows for sure, of course. But then I was also thinking, I don't really have much money to spare for things like, say, a plate carrier or shit like that. So that's what kind of got me thinking, hey, if it gets real bad and things are really looking at going down south, I could probably just use my credit card to buy the things that I absolutely fucking need.
Yeah.
Which I don't think isn't. I'm not saying that's not going to be life crippling debt.
It's not like you're going to put $10,000 on a credit card.
No,
you maybe a couple grand, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I say I think like a month's income, I think would probably be something comfortable for most people to where it would suck, and you're going to be short on cash while you're trying to pay that off. But it's not so bad that you're like, I'm going to have to sell my fucking house because I bought too much ammo and I can't pay back the credit card company, Like,
yeah.
Most people can come up with $2,000. Not that, like, hey, I drive a vehicle that's paid off I can sell that for $3,000 and buy a $500 beater, if it came down to it.
And Sam keeps bringing up the credit card companies aren't just going to forget, but Sam, it's the apocalypse. Just go fucking burn down the credit card companies.
Right. There you go.
Problem solved.
I don't think it quite works that
top
way.
Top of the to-do list. Financial stability.
Check.
Solved that problem.
Go invest in a bunch of Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. Make sure you register those with the NFA first before you throw them. Serialize the bottle, little etcher.
Oh, Jesus. Sweet Lord. The NRA is moving.
Nice segue.
Thank you. I thought of it myself. And they also declared bankruptcy in New York.
Yep.
So the left wing is obviously, oh, yeah, the NRA declared bankruptcy. We win. No, you didn't. They're just moving to Texas, and they're basically, it was just a financial move for
so
them.
the way to dissolve the company out of New York State and any legal issues or like liens or loans and is to file for bankruptcy, right? Then you can reestablish, or like, I don't remember what they call it. Reestablish. Reincorporate in a new state.
In Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there's even a lot of guys on the on our side that were happy to see that. Well, the NRA and all this shit. I'm just like, guys,
idiots.
How short-sighted? Yes, I'm not happy with the NRA either, but how short-sighted and fucking stupid are you when you're actually cheering for what used to be our side's biggest ally to fail? Like, people are so short-sighted about this. It drives me absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
I hate it. It drives me nuts.
And like, Gun Owners of America and Firearms Policy Coalition and stuff, yeah, they're doing good things, and they're going about it in a better way than the NRA. But the NRA is still the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 million
biggest,
members.
Fighting force for the Second Amendment, and that,
And I've said this since the beginning of when the NRA started acting like jackasses. Don't abandon them.
Right.
Change them.
Yeah.
I think that's, they're still a member, oriented organization. If the members stand up and bitch enough for them to change, that they will change. They vote on board members. The board members need to be better. Get the rid of that LaPierre douche piece of shit.
Has NRAM been canceled this year?
I don't know. I would assume so.
Because that's usually in like April or something.
Yeah,
I'd
have to look. I feel
I
like
would
I
imagine
haven't. I feel
it would
like
be,
I haven't heard anybody announce that it's canceled. But
I'm not sure. It's hard to say. But that Sam was saying.
Oh, I think I heard. No, I think I heard TGC. I think I heard the Gun Collective TGC News episode say that it was canceled.
That was they did one on Shot.
I think
don't know about
I think
the
you're
NRA.
right.
No, I think it was in an episode. It wasn't about that, but it was just in an episode he had mentioned that it was canceled because they were trying to come up with their own meeting or
because they always
trade show.
They always have a panel there.
Yeah,
the biggest panel at NRAM or whatever.
Yeah,
but Sam was saying, don't abandon them, change them, and make them better. But that's what got me. That's why I was thinking NRAM, because that's where changes are made. That's you gather there, the members there, and you vote on shit. That's where all the changes are made.
Yeah,
you make your voice known there.
Yeah, so it's the annual meeting, and that's the biggest. It is really the only meeting, right, that they have where it's there's like, as far as voting on board members and doing all that kind of stuff, I think that's really the only once a year thing that they do it, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't say for sure, but I think
if it was canceled, I would bet they do it digitally. SHOT Show is happening digitally, kind of a little bit, as far as they will be online showing all their products and shit like that. So I'm sure that the NRA will be doing something similar for their annual meeting. I would bet.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're moving to Texas. Shocking, I don't know why they were ever based out of New York in the first place.
Right.
Those commie f***ers. But yeah, it just cracks me up. The left thinking they win, and they don't understand what the hell is going on.
NRA files bankruptcy.
I think they've always been in New York, though, since they were founded, and I don't know how long ago. It might have been the fucking 1800s.
I think
it was a long time ago.
So yeah, and New York probably wasn't so communist back then against firearms and shit. So
I'm sure not. But yeah, not a whole lot to say about that, I guess.
Well, and they had like legal action out against the NRA too.
Yeah, New York was suing them. The I think it was Attorney General or Assistant Attorney General New York was suing them, trying to dissolve the NRA or some
for
shit.
misusing funds.
Which
that's pretty much why NRA is doing this. So this is their response to that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
think
there
probably was a lot of misappropriation of funds.
Shit, yeah, there was.
Definitely.
Fucking Wayne LaPierre's fucking 8 goddamn multi-million-dollar homes. He can go suck a dick if that ain't misappropriation of funds. But
right.
I think,
how he is still involved in the NRA
I don't know.
Baffles my mind.
I don't know.
I don't get it. That's clearly crooked and needs to change.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, not a whole lot else to say about that. Just make you guys aware of that. The NRA is moving. They declared bankruptcy, but it's not the end of them. Don't worry.
They are moving to Texas, and Texas has proposed 2 bills to become an official Second Amendment sanctuary state from basically any federal gun ban, supposedly. I don't know. I haven't looked at the verbiage in the bill yet to see.
I think there's several other of those that have done that, like Oklahoma maybe, and I think a couple others have actually done that too. Which, I mean, from the way that the Constitution is set up, they referenced a lot of amendments and articles in the Constitution in the bill, basically saying this is the framework that lays out our ability to govern our people as a state. You leave things to the state level. This is one of those things that is at the state level. We are upholding our Constitution, and the federal government can't. Basically, it was they laid out the framework that says we have this, ability to override federal law at the state level because of these things. Yes and no.
And like I said, I don't know. I haven't read the bill, so I don't know how it's all worded.
Technically, as long as the federal laws are within the realm of the Constitution, states have to abide by the federal law. But as soon as the feds start stepping outside of the Constitution, well then, you, we're not going to put up with that shit.
Right, and I think that's the basis of the bill is if you're going to start telling people that you're going to take their firearms, you're not within the Constitution. That's not within the Second Amendment. So we're going to override your federal law.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense.
And I mean they don't have to follow federal law. States don't have to follow federal law, but you can still be arrested in that state where something is legal by a federal officer because it's a federal crime.
What do you mean states don't have to follow federal laws? That's kind of the whole idea of the feds.
No, marijuana is illegal federally, but it is legal in multiple states, and you don't get arrested for it because it's legal.
That's because the feds
law.
are overlooking it. There is certainly not legal, and we're okay with the feds.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
They've decided
the state government says it's legal, so the state government is not going to arrest you. But if there was an FBI agent in Denver, Colorado, and you smoked weed in front of him, he could arrest you, and it would be
Yeah,
it's a federal law, right?
But that doesn't mean that the law that the states are right for doing that, because technically that's still not correct. I mean, it's still illegal in that state. We're saying the same thing, I think, but
no, you should keep arguing about it.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know in what way that state law overrides federal law.
State law doesn't override federal law. That's the thing. But
I feel like in certain scenarios,
as far as marijuana goes, the feds have basically just decided to overlook those states that are doing that, and they're not actively enforcing it in those states.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, like, say, an example of that is filling out a 4473, a background check for a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're in those states and you admit to smoking marijuana, even if it's legal in that state, you still can't buy a gun. Federally, they're not going to allow you to do that.
Right.
So still at a federal level, yes, and that whole shit needs to be cleaned up. But it's kind of a fucking cluster. The way that the feds have handled this whole thing is
shocker.
Weird,
right?
The government screwed up. What?
Yeah, I know.
No way.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Weird. So yeah, and the House voted to pass marijuana a while back, but obviously with I don't know how that works. If the bill dies now that we got a new incoming Senate and House and Senate or whatever.
Well, it's a new congressional, or what is 117th.
Right. So
Congress.
All the bills from the previous one are gone, so they'll have to reintroduce it and repass it. Which I could see it possibly. I mean, it was a Democrat-controlled House, and if the fucking GOP had any intelligence whatsoever,
well, if
they would have jumped on that.
Any of Congress wasn't
that.
96 years old and have been, I'm pretty sure half of them are just skeletons. They're just stuck in that seat. They didn't even campaign. They were just stuck in their fucking seat. Like,
right.
Did anybody see any skeletons when the Capitol Hill got when they fucking went into the Capitol? Was there anybody stuck in their chair? On the floor?
According to AOC, she almost died in that. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. Stupid ass. Dude, okay, so we know we need term limits, right? Do we need age limits? 65. You're done. Get the fuck out. Retire.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know if we have term limits. I don't think the age limits are real.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I mean, maybe 80, because there's a lot of fucking old bastards that are.
I don't know, man.
I mean, what's Trump? He's like 76.
Yeah. What's Joe Biden? 94.
Joe's older than him. He's going to be in his fucking 80s in the middle of his term if he doesn't die before then.
Which I guess that's not a real good argument for allowing 80.
Dude, fuck.
No,
man.
That's not a good argument at all. He's a demented
dude. People of that age should not be making decisions for mass quantities of people. Like for
No,
like
he's not.
Well, no,
yeah,
but
he ain't making. He's doing whatever the he's told to do. Everybody knows that.
I'm saying Congress.
Yeah.
And the problem with not having term limits is people they hate the other people. Like, people hate Chuck Grassley, or people hate, just like random people hate Pelosi.
Well, that's what's wrong with Washington. It's teams.
Yeah.
It's not. We're all on the same fucking team instead of these stupid ass two teams. And America was never intended to be a two-party system.
Right.
In fact, the founding fathers warned against that, and here we are. What the do you think is going to happen? A house divided against itself shall not stand. What the all we do is fight with the other side.
Yep.
Try to undercut them, and they try to undercut us. Gee, I wonder why shit isn't working. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's bring it to a brighter note.
This isn't exactly a brighter note.
Yeah, I was going to say this is more bitching.
I mean, it is more bitching.
Well,
but at least it's sports and not the government.
It's used to be I was a pretty big sports guy as far as well,
Yeah, what a big sports nut, huh?
Hey there, sports fan.
I was all about the NFL. You know, Dallas Cowboys are my favorite team, and I paid a lot of attention to them. You know, I followed every single game. I watched them. Oh, shit, yeah. Back in the good old days.
Electrifying to watch Emmitt
Smith and Aikman and Irvin, man.
Oh,
those were the days.
They were the days.
Sam's got a poster of Aikman on his bedroom wall.
Does he?
With his shirt off.
Ooh.
Spackled.
It's actually paper mache onto the wall at this point.
That bitch ain't coming off.
You're just going to have to paint right over that fucker.
But those were the good old days, man. There wasn't, you watched the game for what the game was. There wasn't none other this other bullshit, and that's
right.
And up until 3, 4, 5 years ago, probably 4 or 5, it started. You know, they're starting to be heads, starting to get political.
I started to not watch as much when Tim Tebow started getting railed on for being religious and kneeling and praying on the field, and everybody was like, "That's not okay. You shouldn't be making a public statement like that on the field. You're here to play football."
All right, now here we are. We're all making public statements.
Yeah,
and that's so. In the years, I've just been slowly tuning it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm to the point where I fuck football. Like I won't watch it. They're a fucking joke. I laugh when the Dallas Cowboys get their ass kicked because they fucking suck now.
Yeah.
I don't care about them, and it's now that I'm so disconnected from it. Like, it's strange to see like how like my mood was affected by a fucking team playing a game that I had no personal connection to whatsoever. Right. Their success or failure had no fucking effect on my life whatsoever. Like, now that I'm so disconnected from it, like, how do people, like, what's the fucking point? Like, I can see like sport, like college teams or high school teams that you played on, that you were invested in, like, you know, that you know the guys on. But cheering for a professional team,
like, oh, I went to college there, I'll cheer for that college team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out here that are just thinking, "You're a fucking idiot, Sam. Shut up. Go Chiefs." You know, and that's fine if that's what makes you happy. But now that I'm so disconnected from it, I'm just like, I don't get that shit anymore. It's
I haven't watched a single football game in at least 6 years. And I
didn't watch any last year, and I haven't watched any this year. The only thing I've seen is when I'm in a bar and there's a game on, and that's the extent of it. I won't watch the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, I watched the lingerie bowl over the Super Bowl, and that's
way better show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I watch? I might have watched Did I watch the Chiefs win? I don't know if I did or not. I don't remember if I watched it.
I couldn't even tell you who won the last 5 Super Bowls. I have no fucking clue.
But
I have not paid any attention. But I did get a new Dallas Cowboys stocking hat for Christmas this year.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, Wyatt bought it for me. So he got.
Oh, so you can't burn it.
Right. He got a Broncos because his grandma is a big Broncos fan, right? So he goes over there and they still watch football. So he likes to go over there and, you know, he'll cheer for the Broncos, and when he sees Broncos stuff, he gets excited. It's the Denver Broncos, you know. So his grandma likes to watch the Broncos, so he enjoys. Yeah. You know, he's a Broncos fan. So he got a new stocking hat, and then, you know, Shabari asked him, "What should we get Dad for Christmas?" And he was like, he needs a Dallas Cowboys hat because he likes the Dallas Cowboys. You know, he knows that I like the Cowboys because he likes the Hawkeyes and the Broncos, and I like the Cyclones and the Cowboys. And he's just like, "Nope, you're wrong." He gets so mad about it. But yeah, so he got me a Cowboys hat, so I'll sport my Cowboys stocking hat. But
I see the allure of it, I guess. You know, it was nice waking up on Sundays and cooking a bunch of food, waiting for the game to come on at noon, you know, relaxing and just watching the game. Mm-hmm. I can get that, you know. And it's not saying that I don't miss that aspect of it, but guess what? When you start pulling all this political bullshit and knocking, you know, our country and the things that I believe in and the things that I stand for, f*** you, I'm going to cut you out of my life. Done. Yeah. And that's why their viewership is fucking plummeted this year, because they open their fucking mouth. Instead of, you get paid to play the game. I don't care what the fuck you think. You're not an intelligent individual. You get paid to play a fucking game. You get paid because you can run fast. Shut the fuck up. I don't care about your opinion.
Right. And your
this has been
opinion
60
has, and that's
seconds with
the
Sam.
and that's the annoying part is they feel like because they make a lot of money and then they're on a professional sports team, their opinion holds more value than anybody else's.
Right. But
I can go talk to a crackhead that's homeless under a fucking bridge in L.A.
he might be able to run faster than you.
And he's got a hey, depends on how much crack you can get in him.
Yeah,
he might be
that's
able to
right.
beat you in a 40-yard dash. But
most people, it's like they don't realize that most of the people in the NFL are in their early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
they're still kids,
Yeah,
and which is weird for me to say. I mean, fucking look at me.
are you not 19?
They're still kids.
That's very true.
I mean, I'm 31 and I'm a fucking child.
That's very true, Box. I hadn't thought about it that way too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the thing that really bothers me the most is when people feel they're of importance. Right. So like people on sports teams, people on TV, people, movie stars, things like that. It's like, I'm important, so my opinion means more.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean any more than the homeless guy under the bridge. It doesn't mean any more than your fucking grandma. It doesn't, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, you know how to play a game. That
Right.
doesn't qualify you for literally anything else in life.
Right.
Other than playing that game. Period.
You can,
done,
yeah,
over
you
with.
can tell me I'm wrong about football if you're a football player. You can tell me I'm wrong about acting if you're an actor,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we can argue all day. You're not going to tell me I'm fucking wrong, or you know,
Yeah.
like your opinion doesn't mean anything more than mine.
So the what a douche this week is the NFL. No, I'm just kidding. Do you have a
Right.
Do you have a what a douche this week?
Sam
Johnson?
wants your wad.
Sam wants to hear my wad.
What a douche.
So this one is fairly old. This one's from August of 2019. New York man arrested after he tried to pull over a van full of police detectives.
Oops.
The man, who was identified as a 25-year-old Valerie Portlock. Valerie
It's a dude.
is a dude.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's Valerie. It's Valiery. I don't know how to pronounce that other than Valerie.
Valeri?
I don't fucking know. Anyway, Mr. Portlock reportedly activated emergency lights and sounded an air horn as he attempted to pull
An
a van
air horn?
over
Because police are known to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of air horns in the police force.
in the
nowadays.
Long Island town of Hicksville, when the occupants of the van, members of the Nassau County Police Department's electronics squad, identified themselves, he reportedly fled the scene. He was later arrested by Highway Patrol, charged with criminal impersonation, reckless endangerment, and fleeing the police. Can you imagine? Okay, so first of all, what a douche for impersonating a police officer. That's one thing that never ceases to amaze me.
Right. What are they gaining from
Fucking
this?
stupid. Like, people like, I want to feel the power of being a police officer. I want to be a cop. So go to be a cop. Go try to be a cop. Go through police training. Be a fucking cop. Get paid for it.
Too hard.
Get paid for it instead of fucking
Doing it for free?
Yeah, like
With an
They
air
didn't
horn?
graduate high school. They can't be a cop.
right.
I guess you don't need to
Can
graduate
you
high school.
imagine? Can you imagine the conversation inside of that van full of detectives
Right.
getting pulled over by a dude with a fucking air
Are
horn?
you fucking kidding me?
They were
Look at
probably
this
all
shit.
laughing their asses off.
Oh yeah, but
oh, this is gonna be fun.
it never ceases to amaze me, these people who want to impersonate police officers, because that to me in itself is just mind-blowingly stupid in the first place. But the look on that guy's face, because this guy was just a complete fucking moron, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna turn on a light that's circling, like a spinning red light that I
A
suction cupped-
1950s.
my suction cups on the top of my car that I got off Amazon for $12, and a fucking air horn out the window. Pull over.
Meep, meep. Roadrunner pulling over.
Do you think it was like the bicycle style with the squeeze fucking ball on the back of it?
With a little bell. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
But yeah, just can you imagine the look on his face thinking he's gonna pull this fucking van over and it's full of fucking cops? Can you
That's
imagine?
just bad luck, though. Too.
Oh,
Imagine
my
all the cars that he
God.
can pull over, and he pulls over one full of
In
cops.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
All the cars in Staten Island. You know how fucking busy that place is, and you pull over the one van full of fucking cops. Oh my god!
I think that's happened several times actually.
Oh,
I've heard of it happening.
Impersonating,
before.
Yeah, people impersonating a police
well, no,
officer
I mean like
and
pulling
over
yeah.
a cop.
Yeah. But what are they hoping to gain from this? That's
I
what
don't know.
like. Oh, I'm just giving you a warning this time, sir, but you better slow it down.
Respect from people because they don't have any friends. They don't have anything better to do. They're just fucking nerds that live in their mom's basements that are bored and.
See you later.
I want to feel.
I'm gonna go impersonate a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, son, have fun.
Right. You know,
I'll
they
bail you out of
they
jail.
want to feel power because they've never done anything important in their lives, so they just want to feel some kind of importance.
Yeah, I suppose.
Never done anything productive, so I want to feel important somehow. So
I could see that. Well,
but there was actually
I'm
one
yawning.
dude
Sorry, guys.
he went to federal prison for a long time because he was impersonating an FBI agent. And he was like a dude in like his 50s, like had wife, kids, all this shit. But he was arrested in like a Best Buy or something, he went to a Best Buy, stole something, like fucking pocketed like a phone charger or something, was stealing something, got caught stealing. Then when confronted by the employee at the store, he said he was an FBI agent. So then... And the employee was like, if you're an FBI agent, why the fuck are you stealing a phone charger or whatever, you know? And they called the police, and the police came to talk to him, and he was like adamant that he was a federal agent, he was an FBI agent and all this shit, and he got fucking slammed. And I think it was like 10 years in prison.
Yeah, probably just for the impersonating part. Whereas if he just would have got picked up for shoplifting, he would have been out the next fucking day, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Freaking idiots.
I don't get it, man. Like
the population keeps going up, and we
brain.
just keep getting dumber.
Yep,
that's how it goes. But all right, guys, I think we've had I don't know how long we are, hour and a half, so somewhere in there, some ballpark. Been another interesting one for sure. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Make sure you check out Ballistic Imagery on his ballisticimagery.com, his social medias, as well as shyworks.com. We will be back in 2 weeks. Make sure you check us out on our Life Short Live Free Facebook every other Wednesday night at 8:30. And we do a live Gears and Beers segment. You guys can hop in on the conversation, drink some beer, and join in on the conversation.
And maybe win some stuff every now and then.
Maybe win some stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. We're giving away a free tube of lube this time, just for shits and giggles.
Astroglide gel.
Only a tube this time. We're not doing the 50-gallon tub.
Yeah. Well, that's for the 50th episode, I think.
Oh,
saving that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, logistics are too hard to do that every week. Lining up shipping for 50 gallons.
Understandable.
You gotta have a lift gate and all that. Yeah.
You know, you guys, I was totally expecting you guys to just stare at me like I was a fucking idiot, and you just went right along with it.
Yeah, well, Sam, it turns out we're all fucking idiots.
Turns out we're all just as stupid as you are.
Oh boy,
who'd have thought?
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. If you enjoy the episodes, make sure you tell your friends about them, share them, and that's the way we grow, and we certainly appreciate it.
Yep.
And give us a shout. Tell us what you like, what you hate, what you want to see, what you want to hear, whatever. And we always appreciate hearing from you guys. So, yeah. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Until we talk to you then, remember, life's short, live free, God bless, and God bless the United States of America.
Do it.
And repeal the NFA.
Defund the ATF.